Systems are go. About 90 seconds to launch destination.
Mind you, we swore an oath of loyalty, but we are still senators. It's not more speeches in the Senate that will change the world. Rome is dying.
My legions are mustering as swiftly as possible. General Gaius Julius Caesar! Enough!
Senators, welcome back to Episode 4 in my Stellaris Roman Empire campaign. Now in the last episode, we were visited by an ancient sovereign, a crystalline entity that rained crystallized horror down on the colony of Tiberium not long after it destroyed the starbase in the system. It killed hundreds of thousands of colonists and then went back into the void, and we are now studying the remains of the shards that landed on the colony, which seem to be growing, pulling up minerals from the soil, and kind of taking over more patches of territory. We had the option to dig them out, mine them for ourselves. We decided to study them to understand what has happened. And of course, this colony is the namesake of our Emperor Tiberius Caesar, so it's a very personal affair that this was the system that was targeted, whether knowingly or unknowingly, by this entity. And this has kind of humbled us back down on Terra. The Roman people are angry and afraid at what this could potentially mean for our military might. Suddenly we are not the contenders we once thought we were, if we could be so quickly humbled without even really being able to put up a fight. Many in the Senate are calling for action, the building of the fleet, the raising of legions. We don't know who to attack. All we can do is prepare. And that's what we're going to be doing today in this episode. Much like our ancestors, who prepared after the sacking of Rome, when several tribes from Gaul and Germany and Germania came over the Alps and sacked the city, burned it, and looted it. We didn't forget. We just prepared and took the fight to them when we were ready. And that's essentially what we plan to do today. So we also have expanded well beyond what we initially thought we would, venturing far east on the galactic stage, past the Tyrrhene Republic, and by all accounts, blocking them in terms of the star maps and the hyperlanes that we have available to us. So it seems like they won't really be able to get past us should they try. Now, to break immersion just for a quick minute, I did some testing internally just to check, is the AI behaving? What's the other AI doing out in the galaxy? Everything seems to be working just fine. It is very odd that the Tyrrhene Republic have not expanded, but they are currently heavily focused on getting their archaeological sites. They have numerous science ships out doing the business. They're building their fleet. Their economy is strong. For all intents and purposes, they are just building tall. But yes, it is strange that being on a desert preference, they haven't gone for this desert world, for instance. I'm not too sure why not, but it seems like everyone else is basically growing just fine. It's just them. They've decided to stay small. Now, back to the matter at hand. And by the way, it's just because this was the first empire, I wanted to make sure that everything was running okay. It does seem like maybe we've been tossed an easy one here at the beginning, potentially. Now, this brings me to the fact that we had our first vote a couple episodes ago to ask how we should handle the Tyrrhene Republic. So let's have a look at the results. So the question was, how should we handle the Tyrrhene Republic? Should we make them our vassal, annex them, purge them, or ally them? And you can see the breakdown here above me. 37%, the winning vote, goes to making them our vassal. And I'll explain what that means and how we do that a little bit later. But then we also had a very close annexing them option, which was to fully occupy them, go to war, take their planet, and occupy them and do what we want with their species. And then on the fringes, either side of these kind of close vote in the middle, we had to either purge them by killing all the species or ally them by attempting to send them envoys and use them in future against what else may lie out there in the galaxy. But as you can see, making them our vassal is what won the vote, which means that we have to build up our strength. We cannot vassalize them until we build up enough strength to demand vassalization. Should they refuse, we then have ourselves our CB and can fight for our right to dominate them. Now, a vassal is going to not pay us any tributes or anything like that. A tributary would do that. But a vassal means that they can't expand, they can't grow, they can't really do much of anything, but they will help us in wars. And considering that they actually have the capabilities to have a significant sized fleet, I think it's actually a really nice kind of get for us. I think they may also contribute to our naval cap, but I could be wrong on that. I'll have to do some research. So we're going to be working towards that. It's going to take a while to build up that strength, and we might have to go to war with them before that and then demand afterwards or something. But that's going to be the goal. That's set. That's what the votes are all about. Some people were saying, you know, this is a big decision and it's a multifaceted problem, and it is, which is why you have to vote with that all in mind. The next vote, of course, we had was for should we use the robotic workers policy and then use robots for manual labor. And the votes were pretty clear on this one. 62% for yes, robots are essential, with a 38% vote for no, we would look too weak. I should say, you know, actually it's not even 2/3, so it was still kind of close on this one. The arguments that befell us were we are spiritualists, therefore we shouldn't be investing into material objects and creating robots and stuff like that. But I reject this hypothesis just because this video game says that these are opposing ethics. I don't personally believe that to be the case, and there are many instances, for instance in Japan, in the Shinto religion or region or something, I don't know. I was reading something about the fact that robots that are created there, even today, are considered to have the soul of the creator put into them. You know, so I don't think because we're spiritualists and because we believe in gods that we would ignore the fact that a metal husk can do some work. But let's hear the arguments for and against it. We also have, before we get into the episode, one debate befelled us by one of our great senators. Let's check it out. It's a bit of a long one, but I'm going to read it in the best kind of senator voice I can do to get you fully immersed. My Emperor, as a senior member of the Senate, I must implore you to look upon our military and ask yourself, would our ancestors be proud? I do not think so. Not only does the only other empire bordering us have a far superior fleet in comparison to our own, but Tiberium, the colony named after yourself, was assaulted and bombarded by a living crystalline mass because we did not have the military capabilities to push back. Rome is rich materially, but without our military strength and honor, we are weak spiritually. How long will the gods favor us if we do not keep to our traditions? With regards to the idea of robotic laborers, I again point us to our galactic neighbors. They have bred the perfect slaves for us too, as well as they themselves being compatible in their ideology. Many a faction of the disunited Terra went through generations of slavery before joining the ranks of the plebeians, their lines purified by the hardships, as the original Romans in their generations before the founding. These races should be granted the same honor. Robotic slaves, however they may honor Hephaestus, can never attain such a state of purity. By filling the lowest ranks with the mechanical simulacrums, you bar the way for future groups to properly join the Empire. But I digress. Perhaps this new cult to science under the purview of Hephaestus should weigh in on the matter. And that is from Senator Alexander Stratos Danos of Magna Graecia. So I just wanted to read that. That was an excellent comment by Alexander. And I think I may have messed up reading it just a little bit there in the latter half, but he's essentially saying that, you know, hard work is kind of earned. You know, you have to go through the trials and tribulations of slavery, and then you can join the ranks to create this kind of purified Roman, essentially. And he's saying with metal and robots, you're not going to get that purification process. So interesting arguments. Ultimately, we have voted already, though. I'm not against ever overturning a vote or, you know, asking again. But I just thought it was an interesting argument. And like I said, right now we're in the very early phases. We're going to think about overturning this policy, which we're going to do right now. And that's actually going to upset some of the factions we have. So let's find robotic workers. We had previously outlawed them. Boom, we're going to allow it. We might start investing in technologies to then build them. But for now, these are not sentient robots. They are merely just tools for cultivation, really. I was going to turn down the music a little bit. It's quite loud. Alright, so that is quite a long intro, but hopefully we are all caught up. Every couple of episodes when I'll be going through the comments and going through and the votes and things like that, I think it's good to do so. So, in order to get us started, I want to just catch you up. We have renamed the Tianok Expanse to the Mare Celestialis. Thank you to the senator who provided me with the information on how to do that. It's actually quite easy. So this is I named it after what he suggested it be called, which was the Celestial Sea, which I think is a beautiful name for it, at our backstop here. And we're going to hopefully get this with our construction ships and things like that. We've renamed one of the planets to Cicero. Not sure it's the best name for a planet itself, but a lot of people actually asked for that, so I've called it Cicero. Maybe there's a better name for like Cicero's planet or Cicero's something, if you know what I mean, rather than just straight up using his name. So let me know if you have any suggestions for that. And we've also renamed the factions in our political arena. So we have the Cursus Martialis, which is going to be the militarists, the Dominati Romane, the authoritarian ethos, the Sacra Vir, the anthropocentrism ethos, Cursus Romanitas, xenophobes, and then the Collegium Pontificum for the spiritualists. We may end up getting more. I believe one gets kind of created for almost every ethic that you have, so we'll see what happens. So that's the situation as it stands right now. We're making 4 influence with our current factions. We're getting 1.15 influence out of them, which is decent. We don't want to make them too unhappy. So the colony of Tiberium, the only thing I did between episodes was I moved 2 pops to this planet because there are crystal mines here now, and it's also created researcher jobs. So I moved 2 pops here just to fill those ranks a little bit. I can probably remove that deprioritization as well, actually, thinking about it. I'll just leave it, actually, it's fine. So there's now new pops on Tiberium. The planet is still under devastation, though, so it's going to take a while to really get the use out of them. But I just wanted to kind of seed the planet with that. I took them from, I believe, Elysium, which I've now designated as a forge world, as we have 1 alloy foundry there. So that's that. For this episode, like I said, what we're going to be doing is really just now focusing on getting our colonies up and running. They're just colonies still. They still have the disassembled ship shelters. We want to build actual planetary administrations. We're going to have a little bit more of a gander at what's going on at Gargantua. Of course, we came across the orb out here, which we have to study and figure out what the hell is going on with that. We're going to be kind of looking for any other empires if we can find them. And then, of course, just building our fleet, building our strength, getting our defenses in position. Now, to build our fleet, we need more energy, which is why we need to get our colonies up and running. So things like building energy districts and stuff like that is going to be essential to sustaining a fleet well into the future. So I think I've dilly-dallied on long enough. Let's let time play. First of all, we've all queued everything up. Let's just let time play on normal. If I'm missing anything, I'll catch it. Oh yeah, we need to colonize this planet here at the Beckoning system. It's got unstable tectonics. It's 70% habitable, which is going to be pretty good. It could be 80%, but it's actually a 22-slot world. Now, it doesn't have the best in terms of districts, but I think this will be perfect to colonize as well. So let's get a human colony ship. I'll just give it Colonia Augusta, great name. Let's just go with that for now. And that will be created at Terra Magna's stations. So as long as our guys are doing everything, then we're all good to go. And as long as we don't get attacked by the Tyrrhene Republic, we should be fine. To buy some time before we actually build our military up any further. So Shipyard is making the colony ship now. No problems. And let's have a look at what it's signed. Oh yeah, that's another thing I wanted to do then at the shipyard was build 2 new science ships. We're going to start going really fast now. As we get some of the anomalies, we'll get some more science ships to really expand out and see what's going on beyond our areas. So that we can dedicate 1 or 2 to archaeological digs, to anomalies, and then 3 or 4 to just going out and finding things. Alright, so strategic resources discovered. Rare crystals are discovered at G1BRF. Okay, we don't have the technology to understand that just yet, but we at least know where we can get some. We also have then volatile motes and then alloys around the place, so things are looking good. Also, I just have to check something. Yeah, no, everything's okay. I was just checking. Sometimes, if you run Google Chrome, it severely impacts the performance of the game. And I have it off at the moment, so that's fine. Alright, oh yeah, Tiberium has a new building that we could put down here. Tempting to do something like admin offices to increase our admin cap temporarily. This is going to be... It says refinery world, but really, it's probably going to be a scientific world while we're focusing on research with the crystalline entities. So I think that's what we'll go with. Let's go research. Oh, we need planetary administration. Huh. There's probably not much I can actually build then. Maybe a temple for the time being. There's no immunities here. Actually, maybe that... Does devastation hurt immunities? It does. That could be why then. Yeah, I really should have thought of it. You know what? I'm actually going to go with a stronghold. Because if something does pop up, I really don't know what this anomaly is. Like, I'm not pretending. I don't know the outcomes of these things, and I don't want to know. Please don't spoil any events ever in the comments. Some people said that I got the best precursor. I didn't even know I found one, to be completely frank with you. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, don't spoil anything for me if you can. But I'm going to put down a stronghold because I really don't know. Like, maybe the crystalline entity comes back. Maybe these things come to life and start walking around. It could be a lithoid thing. I have no idea. So I'm actually going to go with a stronghold. And that's going to create jobs, create soldier jobs, increasing our naval capacity, which is what we kind of need. And then also spawning defense armies. Bit of a strange one, but it's not completely useless. We always change it later. But I think it'd be good just in case something does end up happening here, which it might, as far as I know. Another strategic resource. Oh yeah, the dark matter. Where was this found? Oh yeah, we'd seen this before. I'd said this before, actually, that this had dark matter. Oh yeah, because we looked at it. That's why. We actually looked at the star itself. Alright, cool. So we know where this dark matter is well now. Alright, we're just going to leave the anomalies. Oh, actually, I just clicked to research that, didn't I? Yeah, sorry, leave it for now. We're going to leave the anomalies for now and come back and get them later. Queue up a few things for the science ships. No big deal. And then the construction ships are now going to fill out the territories around us. And get everything in the Mare Celestialis. So, yeah, I guess spend the influence to do that. Get what we can. And I'll try to go a little bit faster, because I know obviously I spent a lot of time there in the beginning looking at stuff. So what are we making? We're making one rare crystal right now. Really? Oh, yeah, from our crystal mining. That is actually great that we're... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What do we got? We got some... What is it? Mining drones? It looks like mining drones. Ancient mining drones in this system. And then some sort of complex. Alright, this is a good first target. These are outwardly hostile towards us unless we can research them. It seems like there might be valuable minerals and things around this area if these have ancient mining drones. Hopefully our fleet can get out of there. I thought we went through that system before and I never noticed this, so strange. We'll head this way instead. Fleet power is modest, very small. We can get our hire our first general for the fleet and see, like, get him some experience, or her. Alright, so that's the Pandil system done. Don't know if I want to go further south or further east. I'll go south. Survey speed has been increased by 25%. Excellent. 0G labs, blue lasers, basic combat roles. Let's go with basic combat roles as we specialize our combat computers. Active matrices tuned for specific combat-centric tasks. Greatly improve engagement efficiency. I never read any of these technologies before. I hope people don't mind me reading them. I think it's pretty fun to check them out because I've just actually never took the time to read them. And they do all have little paragraphs, so I think it's kind of fun. All right, we have a new science ship up and running, the Diodorus. We've got a new leader on this. So who do we have? We've got an adaptable, a carefree, and an adaptable. So two adaptables. We have Maio Helvius and Servius Lentidius. I'm going to go with Servius just because he's younger. And we're going to send him out to, I guess, expand this way. Did we survey this system? Yeah, we did. Alright, so we're going to start surveying out in this direction. Oh, you know what? I forgot to look at these in between episodes. I really am not sure which one we're going to go down next. I think I was thinking discipline. So it's interesting, just to kind of briefly bring you up to speed with what's going on here. We can't ever get compassion. The ones that say 0 out of 5 we'll never get because of our ethics, unless we change our ethics in the future. So we have realism, compassion, self-determination, and culture are things we can just never adopt because we're xenophobic, so culture isn't our thing. We're spiritualists, so realism's not our thing, and so on. But I think discipline was a pretty good one. So if we're to prosper in a galaxy of chaos and conflict, we must set an example to our inferiors. So adopting this will... Oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. So what do we got? Mining station output increased. Buildings and districts have their build costs reduced. Building upkeep is reduced. Nobles you get a noble for every 50 jobs, so an entrenching nobility. And welcome to the machine. Governing ethics attraction increased by 10%. Stability is increased by 5% on all planets. So I like the sound of discipline. The other one I was thinking it was expansion. Starbase influence cost is reduced. Empire sprawl is reduced. Starbase is reduced. The upkeep. Pop growth speed is increased. New colonies start with additional pops. Expansion's a pretty tempting one to go for right now. Colony development speed is increased. It might have been better to do that early on, and I think some people mentioned that too. Had I noticed that we get that, I probably should read these things before adopting. Like, we could have maybe just started with a bit of discovery and started with a bit of this, because I don't think we necessarily needed the Ascension prick right away. So maybe getting true traditions would have been better at the beginning, but oh well. And then we have security and prowess. So development speed of colonies, medical worker jobs, Starbase capacity, Empire sprawl from colonies. It's very similar to expansion, actually, just a little different. Oh, right. It actually says it'll exclude expansion. So it's one or the other. And this excludes prosperity. Oh my god, I'm right. I'm an idiot. So if we wanted to go with prosperity, so sorry to go through that. I keep apologizing in this episode, just because I feel like there might be some pressure to go a bit faster. But you guys let me know in the comments if you think I'm going too slow, too fast. Buildings and districts have their build cost reduced by 10% and build speed increased. So that's buildings, okay. City districts for extra housing. Buildings and upkeep reduced by 10. City districts provide clerks. Specialist pops output is increased by 5. Okay, so that's very interesting. So these two are in conflict with each other. This actually gives you stability on all planets. I think that's more powerful than anything I saw here. Specialist pop resource output 5%. That is pretty good, because specialists will be making your alloys, making everything at the mid-tier kind of range of resources. So that is pretty good, but only 5% isn't crazy. Whereas this 5% for stability would add like 1 or 2% resource output for everything on all planets. So I feel like that might be better. We still have the building upkeep reductions. We have mining station output. Yeah, I think discipline is just inherently more Roman as well. So expansion excludes security. So let's just read those two, and then it's going to be one of those, right? It's going to be either discipline, or we'll find out between these. So security is going to be colonies, pop, medical workers, starbase, yeah, colonies, pop growth speed. The growth speed is the thing that is interesting to me, but with our population mod on, actually, I don't know if it's necessarily as important. Yeah, I think I'm going to go discipline and then actually probably security. I'll probably take the time to read these a bit more in my own time. Sorry for spending a lot of time reading it there, but I think discipline is the right one. I don't think we actually get anything by adopting it now, like actually as an adoption. Oh, adoption affects libertarian ethics attraction is reduced. So that's good, because that's going to reinforce authoritarian, sort of. All right, good. So discipline is our next focus. Because we're expanding, but I'm only going to be looking to expand on one colony. I don't think I want to expand on the tropical world until maybe we get machines. So yeah. All right, we've got another science ship up and running, the Marinus. We have research speed for Voidcraft, Anomaly research speed. So let's get Lucia Ulpius. Anomaly research speed. She's 45 actually. Sorry, Lucia, but your time is kind of come and gone, I'm afraid. What was this one? Leader experience gain. Let's go with her. Mayo Helvius. Okay, so we have one science ship out this way. Let's bring her out as well, and this one can kind of come back in and do the anomalies this way. All right, good. We have 5 science ships on the go now. I think that's pretty nice. Oh, and by the way, I should mention also that, you know, next episode and the one after that even, I don't get to look at your comments. Not really, unless I'm delayed. I don't get to look at your comments or react to votes and stuff. So it's really every 3rd episode will be like slow in the intro, going through your comments and things like that. Strange mountain formation, just leave it for now. The colony ship is on the way, by the way, out east. So it's going to head all the way over to Baranik. We could also probably do with having a couple construction ships out now, just to really start speeding up the process. We're in Sigma Dacronus right now, in the middle of the nebula. Just got that done. Let's keep going now to Chi Dacronus. Very cloudy part of the nebula. The Mare Celestialis. Great name. Now, are we still trading away? We are still trading away 15 food every month on the internal markets in order to get more energy back. So the construction ships are done. They're always done very quick, actually, I must say. So let's just queue these things up. And then the other construction ship can go behind this guy. And there we go. So that's going to speed things up a little bit. The Agatha Daemon, under Lucius Sornacius, our anomaly expert, who has also gotten arrested development, despite being level 6 though. So he's going to go finish off these anomalies. So what do we got? Level 2, life signs. We detected life signs coming from somewhere beneath the barren and lifeless surface of this moon. Okay, let's go check it out. Sornacius on the case. Shius. What hums in the night is another one we could get maybe afterwards. The pattern of unusual sonic activity. It's only going to take him 65 days, a couple months. He'll bang them out. So remember, we're just getting life signs. Let's see. Silicon life form. Some kind of burrowing silicon-based life form inhabits a vast network of tunnels beneath the barren surface of Ascella 4A. As best as we can tell, these creatures feed off rocks, and there's evidence to suggest that they possess a rudimentary form of intelligence. Their tunneling efforts have shuffled large amounts of valuable minerals to the surface. Boom. So now there's actually a new thing we can actually get here as well. A new deposit. Now he's off doing the what hums in the night. Pattern of unusual sonic activity. Gonna take him a couple months on that one. Excellent. Things are looking good. Our C is being completed. We're out of influence, so while we're out, let's just use what we can to get what we can here. Good stuff. Alright. How's Governor Mamercus doing? Yeah, he's pretty good. Eager and righteous, still has good traits. So here we go with the life form on the sonic noise coming from this place. What music they make. The animals of Ascella 3, predator and prey alike, gather together as night falls and sing. The howls, clicks, chirps, roars, and hisses are discordant, to say the least, but there is a recognizable melody in there, and not a bad one either, to hear the crew of the Agatha Daemon tell it. The non-sapient choir is obviously the work of some alien entity, and we may never know their purpose in altering the fauna of Ascella 3 in this way. We may, however, be able to at least start to figure out how they did it. That's pretty interesting, that this is actually being manufactured. Alright, xenobiology option gained in research, and we've already got 50% of it, so that's nice. Good job, Sornacius. Let's bring him now. Oh, there's more here. There's another anomaly in here. And what is it? Cold wastes. Sensors pick up an unexpected activity from isolated point on Ascella 5A's frozen surface.
Anomaly detected.
Right, he'll bang that out in a very short amount of time, as he normally does. And there we go. The Exile. The readings originate from a small research outpost, which the Roman Empire has no records of establishing or indeed authorizing on the surface of this moon. It is staffed by one human scientist, a fairly talented and industrious one if their research on Ascella 5A is anything to go by. There is a problem with regards to their identity, however. We have been unable to match them against official state records, and they refuse to identify themselves, save for stating that they are an exile. They've expressed an interest in returning to Terra and serving the Roman Empire directly on the condition that the Agatha Daemon immediately depart Ascella 5A and no human ships ever return here. Huh. Well, that's freaky. So, to recap, there's a guy here, assuming just one person, the Exile, who we can't identify and he won't identify himself, and he says we have to leave this place and we'll just come back, and we can never go back. Out of the question, search every nook and cranny of that outpost for 350 physics, or the Emperor welcomes the Exile back into the fold, and we get a new Exile in the leader pool. Okay. Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Let's find out a little bit about him. The Exile. Expertise biology. The leader is, following years of study, considered an expert within the field of biology. He's level 3, he's 35. He's nothing that special. His name is just the Exile, though. It's very strange. Doesn't seem to be worth it unless we find something else out about him later. Let's give him his own science ship. Send him back out. Maybe get him to assist research or something. Right, so anyway, to continue with Sornacius, out to Markab 2A, we have life signs again out here. So that's interesting. I mean, that's really far, isn't it? 1, 2, I mean, I guess not that far. It's just 3 jumps away. I suppose a human could make it out there. I'm just wondering, is he like not a human, you know. Oh, the Hephaistio. Let's get him on there. All right, we'll send him out as well. He's level 3, which means he can also do some anomalies. Maybe he can grab the level 1 things out here. Figure them out. So what's that first anomaly? That is weak signal from the surface of the moon. All right, the exile's going to head back out. Figure out what the hell's going on.
Surveyed.
Let's check out the world of Tiberium. I'm curious to see. Yep, so someone's working as a soldier now there. We've raised our naval cap by 4. Nothing much. Okay, this science ship is done. Let's keep surveying. There's no other direction we can go out here. It looks like we have a binary neutron star system. What do we got? Class F stars. F types and then an A type. Young white or bluish white main sequence stars are typically among the most visible to the naked eye. They are large and rotate very quickly, but will eventually evolve into slower and cooler red giants. Mysterious domes. Further survey has revealed a large complex on the surface consisting of over a dozen collapsed domes, structures that at one point were sealed from the rest of the planet. Excavation into the largest building uncovered an elevator shaft plunging over 200 meters into the surface. We could investigate the dome complex by seeing what could be down there. Yeah, definitely. Lucius Sornatius is not afraid. 120 days, he's going to go down the shaft. See what's going on down there. Cicero has an unemployed pop. A colossal impact. Oh yeah, we'll leave that for now. Alright, so unemployed pops. Maybe we could... It looks like this would be a great mineral planet. And maybe food. Both of those combined would do well. Let's just crank out a few mining districts. I suppose we only need one at a time. It helps our population grow faster to not build too many. So there's the crystal fields, by the way, on Tiberium. An ever-growing area covered with semi-living mineral formations spawned by an ancient void crystal. Studying these crystals will benefit the colony's research efforts while reducing its mineral and agricultural output what was it? Capacities.
System surveyed.
Von Manin's star. Van Manen star. It's like a Dutch word. What the hell is this? Poor quality. Barren world. It's got a bluish hue, though. A molten world. Massive. Chthonian planet. Alright. These are evolved stars of low luminosity, usually referred to as white dwarfs. They're compact, with large masses at incredibly small sizes, which results in a very high density. Alright. Need to name a system after, like, Sornatius and our different scientists out here. Now, something I've, well, not quite neglected. I still haven't forgotten to build up the fleet. Don't worry. It's just that, kind of just thinking about when to do it. Is there anything else we need to build out here? It looks like no. There is available trade to get, but other than that, no. I think I'm going to get this system. Let's just move here for now with this construction ship. This one's doing its business. Alright, cool. Everything's all good. So if we were to look at... Where was this? An ancient... Oh, you went down the shaft. Okay, an expedition down this shaft has revealed an entire self-contained biome within a gargantuan cavern. Creatures representing at least 3 separate tropical planets have been catalogued so far. The system is heavily automated with a multitude of specialized drones observing, maintaining, and at times culling the population, artificially maintaining the food cycle, as well as the facility itself. A 37-hour day-night cycle is simulated using a slow-moving artificial light bar on the roof of the cavern, powered by geothermal taps buried even deeper into the surface. This artificial ecosystem is estimated to be over 40,000 years old and is beginning to break down in ways the automated systems just cannot repair. Lucius Sornatius estimates that this facility will reach a critical failure point within the next millennium or so. We could break down the machinery and reverse engineer the tech, giving us the option to do nutrient replication, or turn it into a dissection lab, adding a permanent 4 society and 2 engineering here. Yeah, let's do that. Turn it into a dissection lab. I don't know what nutrient replication is. Nutrient replication. I'm just assuming that increases food. So we'll do, yeah, we'll turn it into a dissection lab. Alright, let's keep going. Next up is the anomaly out here. We briefly detected some unusual readings emanating from this planet. Could be just a glitch. Let's find out. And after we just get a few more of these, then wow, there's so many actually. We stumbled upon a faint alien signal. Alright, let's go with that one first then. Let's just get them all. And we'll just read them as they're done. After we do that, then I'm going to head back and we're going to start getting the Archaeological Dig sites. There's an Archaeological Dig on Tiberium that I'm very curious about. So I want to get Sornacious on the job. Our anomaly expert. He's going to be our archaeological expert as well.
New technology discovered.
Ideally, we'll have multiple, but you know. So we can get eco-simulation, genetic healthcare, hydroponics farming, or xenobiology, which you've already half completed. So let's just focus on this, seeing as we can do it now.
Construction online.
Excellent. So science ship is done out here. Let's start. She's only level 1, so yeah, she's gonna have to go and start surveying like crazy. So let's stick her on. Yeah, we won't put her on automatic exploration. I don't want her to go this way. Also, we're in another one of these kind of micro quasar systems. This one's actually like a trinary, I guess, sort of.
Anomaly detected.
Seas of fire. Oh my god, this system looks awesome.
Systems
We'll leave it for now. What do we have here? A T-Tauri star. They're young stars with special classes FG, K, and M, which have not yet entered the main sequence. They have a mass of less than 2 solar masses and are usually surrounded by a protoplanetary disk. The protoplanetary or near-star disk dissipates over the course of roughly 10 million years, partially falling into the star, partially forming planets due to accretion, and partially being blown outward by stellar winds. The temperature in the core of these stars is not yet sufficient to maintain a thermonuclear reaction, which will ignite about 100 million years after the formation of the star. The main source of the star's energy is gravitational compression. These young systems are like boiling cauldrons, in which ships and stations are subject to wear and tear from permanent meteoric bombardment. There's no actual environmental effect here, so it's no problem. So coil guns, time to start investing in tech. Once we get our level 2 tech, then we build the fleet. So she's going to go back, start getting some of these anomalies. Boom and boom. So this one is efforts to map the surface of this planet, identified strange mountain formations, and exploration of this asteroid has detected the remains of a large object scattered on its surface. Alright, we'll go find them out. Alright, we're done here. Let's go this way. Can't go any further. Alright, good. So I know it's just a little bit of busy work, just getting our territories and all of that. Let's check in on the Tyrrhene Republic. Still overwhelming. Their economy is now inferior, which is very interesting. I can be their vassal. Demanding vassalization means that we need relative power to be greater than or equal to superior. Now, they're overwhelming because of their fleet. Now, because we don't really have a fleet, they could only have maybe 2,000, 3,000, maybe 4,000 strength. We've got 128. To be honest, they might even only have like 1,000 at that point. That would still make them 10 times stronger than us, therefore being overwhelming. So we'll slam it out pretty soon. Don't you worry. Alright, anything else we need to do? Don't think so. Let's speed up time. Oh yeah, actually something I do need to do is clear any tile blockers that we just got on the other planet. The dense jungle here on Elysium can now be cleared because we got a technology to do it. That's 500 energy. Clear that out. What about out here? All good. And here? Dense jungle as well. On Tiberium. Alright, taking care of business. Oh god, what is it now? Some sort of alien bio entity. And that's going to be Mayo Helvius, our level 1. Get the hell out of there.
Initiating evasive maneuvers.
We've encountered some form of alien vessels in the Lyrum system. These strange objects have been flagged as the Lambada menace. This is a different system, is it? What the hell is this? Oh my god. Oh my god, maybe we found the source of the crystalline entity. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on, I can't read everything, guys. Stop giving me anomalies. The Lyrum system, where the hell is this? Oh, far south. Okay. And our ship is here. Who's piloting it? Gaius Orbilius. If I might be mistaken, he was the first one? No, he's not. He's not the first one. The first scientist. That was the Posinist. I'll have to check it later anyway, but doesn't look that bad, actually. It seems to be just these guys, but yeah, hopefully he'll get out of there. All right, Mummified Pilot. This has happened in the far western system. Sornatius is on the task. Mummified remains of a single individual belonging to a previously unknown mammalian species have been found drifting in high orbit over Casabius B3. The being is dressed in what appears to be a flight suit, complete with a helmet, and may be a fighter pilot that ejected in some ancient battle only to be forgotten and left behind. Our study of the corpse has provided some interesting data. That's sad. Alright, sometimes things just kick off all at once like that. We have an incredible amount of minerals, 7,000. We need to activate heavy amounts of alloy foundries to process all these minerals as fast as possible. Alright, our scientists are gaining experience. So yeah, so that's a no-go area for now. We'll have to leave it. Let's just go around this way and then get this. Alright, cool. How are we doing up here? Tau Ceti is still being figured out. Alright, no worries. Still no other empires, actually. Not yet. Though I guess we can't see this area yet, or this area. Sorry, down here. What do we have? Another nebula. Crossroads Nebula. Ultaran Miasma. And the Twin Fangs Nebula. Terminal Orbit, a small... Okay, we'll leave it. Sorry, I keep forgetting to just skip the ones that we're not actually in the process of getting. Alright, so she can't go that way. So... go here, and then up and around. Let's try that. Was it ancient mining drones? No, these are just... I can't remember where the drones were. Oh, the drones were out here. Yeah, we're definitely going to build up and get them this episode, I promise. Get our first little taste of combat. 2 brown dwarfs. Alright. Speed up. Tiberium's got unemployment. Let's crank out some generator districts. A new faction's being founded by scientist Proculus Decius. Environmental Defense Association. Biosphere changes. Uh-oh. Despite the colonists' constant efforts to contain the crystal infestation, the spreading has now reached critical extent. The damage to the planet's ecosystem is now undeniable. Farming outputs are at a record low, and vegetation in general is in a state of steady decline as the crystals exhaust the soil. Though our scientists are confident that they can prevent the planet from becoming completely lifeless, they doubt that this process can be reversed without extensive terraforming. Oh my... Oh shit. Does this mean that it's going to completely become barren? Oh god. We might need to get the pops out of here. Bleak modifier added, given the following effects. Bad habitability, food is problem, agriculture districts. Magnetic reversal, this is something else. Alright. I can't terraform the planet though. It looks like this planet's gonna shift. Maybe this would have happened even if I tried to dig them out, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna turn into though. Crystal World, is that a thing? It's a thing in a different mod, I don't know if it is in this one. The magnetic field of Casabius C2 experienced a complete reversal while it was being observed by the Ecthodemon. This rare event interchanged the positions of the planet's magnetic poles. Fortunately, it was recorded by the sensors of our ship, providing our scientists with a lot of valuable data. Alright. Yeah, guys, Tiberium might be screwed. Winged statues. The crew clearing the jungle on Elysium. Oh, wow. Has stumbled upon an unusual find. Previously obscured deep within a tangle of old withered trees where it would seem no human has ventured before, and are 9 massive statues casting dark, tall shadows over the landscape. Winged and pale, they exude an aura of otherworldliness. Perhaps they were created in the image of a deity or idol that has since passed into oblivion. They do not resemble any life forms on this planet. We must learn more about the statues. It creates the Sentinel's archaeological site at Elysium. Or the land is being budgeted for other purposes. No, yeah, let's find out. I want to know. Archaeological dig on Elysium now. Alright, Sornatius is going to get on the case. First, he has to go to Tiberium because I'm terrified the planet's going to, like, destroy itself. So, he has to finish out up here. He's almost done with his last anomaly. Alien writing. Someone used a mining laser from orbit 5,000 years ago to carve a large body of writing into the planet. The massive script covers a large portion of the moon's upper hemisphere and appears to be short a short story chronicling the difficult life of an alien mercenary. All right, you're done. You're done, Sornatius. Head back. You're going to start checking out Tiberium's thing. Fossilized remains. Excavate the site. This was the fossilized remains from several different species that don't appear to have originated here. So we'll learn about them, find out what's going on. And maybe that will give us a clue as to why the entity attacked that planet. Potentially. Actually, you do mining and you build out. Alright, we almost have the entire Mare Celestialis. Actually, you know what? I've changed my mind about... No, that's fine. Yeah, generator will be fine. A gigantic skeleton. What was previously thought to be in assorted mountains in the southern hemisphere. Been identified as massive skeletal remains of a single colossal life form. The bones have been dated as 3.4 billion years old, but our scientists have ruled out that Yon 1 could have supported life on that scale at any point of the planet's history. Issues a special project to investigate the giant skeleton. Alright, let's find out about it. I know there's a lot of anomalies. I might slow down on some of them and let them rest for a while, because I have been reading just constant stories. It might be hard to keep track. And when there's so many, it kind of takes away their importance a bit. Let's change song. Alright, so how's Terra doing? One job available. One job available. One job available. Alright, cool. So we have room for the next few mana pops. A natural wormhole and an encounter in whatever this system down here. Where is it? I don't know where this is. A natural wormhole. Also is just bringing me to the center. Detected what appears to be a naturally occurring subspace phenomenon. Where is this? Oh, there it is. There we go. A rift in the very fabric of space-time has formed here, creating a wormhole that our scientists speculate may provide a conduit through subspace to another wormhole located somewhere else in our galaxy. Depending on where the second one is located, that could potentially allow ships to travel from one end of the galaxy to another in a matter of days. Unfortunately, this wormhole, like the vast majority of its kind, is inherently unstable. Any vessels foolish enough to pass through it would be ripped apart in seconds, if it could be somehow stabilized. Alright. So yeah, we don't know where it leads, we need to study it, we need the technology to figure that out. Which we just don't possess. Our economy is pretty good. I mean, our energy is low, but minerals are high, which is nice. Ancient survey marker. A small short-range transmitter was found on Tab 3, or Tab 2b. It appears to be an ancient survey marker placed here on eons ago to mark a large deposit of precious metals. The miners it was meant for evidently never arrived, as the deposit is still here. Okay. This guy's not doing anything anymore. Let's send him out to explore. Like I said, this is the exile. Send him out to explore. I'm kind of done with anomalies for now. We've done so many this episode. Obviously, once you do them, though, you're never really going to get them again around the place. So hopefully, as long as no other empires take this space, we can always just come back and get them later. You don't really need to do them unless you have them within your territory, typically. Right, is there anything else we need to do? I don't think so. We have 1,000 alloys now, so we can start preparing the fleet. One reason not to build it immediately is because you pay upkeep in alloys to sustain the fleet, so we'll be making less if we built it early. But we have some time yet before we head to the Pollux system to have a look at the mining core there. Special project completed. After continued studies of the massive skeletal remains, Science Officer Asilis has concluded that the creature served as some kind of organic starship. Much smaller bones from at least 3 separate species were found within the larger skeleton, and we assume these came from members of the crew. For unknown reasons, the organic starship suffered catastrophic damage and crash-landed. While we cannot begin to understand the biological engineering necessary to grow a starship like this, the study of these bones alone has substantially advanced our knowledge. That's pretty cool. It's like a good idea for DLC. I always thought the plantoids should have like organic structures, but they don't. They still use metallic ships. Science ship. Alright, let's keep going with auto exploration for now. Alright. We have an archaeological dig back here. Actually, yeah. Who can we send back? Gaius Acillus. He's going to go and get this archaeological dig. Actually, there's one up here. Let's find this one. The moon bump. Even with the naked eye, it's easy to see something highly irregular in the shape of Atheos 3. The smooth curvature of the surface is suddenly interrupted by a gigantic spherical bump. At some point, a moon of large asteroid collided with the planet, but must have done so in a fairly delicate manner, merely lodging itself into the planet's crust rather than rendering it asunder. Oh, that's weird. And that's here. It'd be cool if you could see it. A moon that crashed into it slowly, so slowly that it just wedged in. Alright, let's get the mining stations, and then our last outpost is going to be out there. I feel like one of my mods has gone off or something. I feel like the territory here is looking like real foggy when it shouldn't. I feel like I used to have hollowed out borders or something. Anyway, I don't know. I'll look into it. Looks like that's maybe on. Oh, by the way, I mean, this is really late in the episode, but some people asked, like, they said their ethics aren't working. I have no idea why that would be. The order of which I placed the collection on Steam is the order of which I have them loaded, so I can only assume that if you put the ethics mod at the top, it should make sure that it works, but yeah, I don't know why that would be for some people. Okay, so on Cicero, our colony is touching down, by the way, now in the Baronex system. On the Cicero colony, we have a new build slot open to improvements. I think I'm going to start with some civilian industry, because that's getting kind of low. Alright, good. What is this? Oh, it's the Infinity machine. We've just passed by it. We'll have to talk to that soon. If not today, in the next episode. Alright, speed up.
Anomaly
I'm surprised there's no other empires, man. It's weird. Volcanic vents. Alright, leave it for now.
Construction online.
Have we arrived at the dig site? Yeah, we have. We're doing it.
Construction online.
So the breakthrough chance is 0%. Basically, you just keep rolling until you eventually get it. And then it gets easier or harder as time goes on. Difficulty is 3. Our skill bonus is helping a lot. So he's done his first thing. It failed. I guess we rolled a 2. Yeah. So failure is rolling 5 or less. So we have to roll 5 or more to at least make some progress. I don't know. What's the max capability that you can roll, though? It goes up to 13, it says at the bottom. So I guess between 0 and 13? Don't know. Maybe that's your skill? I don't think so. It's been a while since I've done these, but I guess you can just roll between 1 and 13. It just seems like an odd number. I don't know, like, why is it 13? But okay. Let's see. Let's just see what we get now this time. So we're going to be rolling again.
System scan complete.
And we got 8. So that's going to give us 1 clue. And that gives us a breakthrough chance. Oh, right. So every time a phase ends, a dice 1 to 10 is rolled. The results of the roll is added with skill and clues, then subtracted by difficulty. So, all right, I see then. So if we rolled 5, then we add 6. That brings us to 11, and then 3 would take it away, bringing us to 8. And that's like how we would get 8. And then the breakthrough chance, I'm not too sure what that exactly means. Just a chance. Okay, just a chance of making a breakthrough. I see. Okay, cool. All right, good. Good stuff. So he's figuring it out. How's the other one doing? Has it started yet? We just failed it. All right, so they're going to be going on and on. We'll just get notified when they make some progress and some breakthroughs, so that's fine. All right, let's keep expanding. Let's go this way. All right, there's almost nothing really left for our construction ships. Still want to get this system. Still want to get this one. Don't have the influence for that just yet. The political parties seem to be pretty happy still.
New technology.
Look at all the anomalies we have. It's insane. There's so many. And then these are all the situation log things. Communications established. Holy shit! We're receiving transmission from the Norillga Swarm. It's not a good sounding name. They appear to have successfully translated our language. Diplomatic channels are now open and all hostilities between us have ceased for the moment. Let's just change the music really quickly to, I don't know, something else. Oh, ugly looking things. What do we got? The Norillga Swarm, a ravenous hive. They're a devouring swarm. Can't see where they are actually yet. We'll see after we click a button. We sense the presence of prey. Prey. Know that we are your hunters. The biomass of the human species will fuel the growth of the Norillga Swarm. Struggle if you must, it will not change the outcome. Okay. That's pretty hostile. Our sacred arms shall never waver. Now, we'll fight for our right to exist, Norillga. Whoa, there we go. There we go. Bordering, but not quite. We're not actually connected with systems yet. The Baronic system might be have some issue. Hang on one sec. Let's see if we can put on something that makes a bit more sense for this. Doomsday. Alright, let's check them out. So, they actually look like they've only got one planet, strangely. But they have lots of systems. And they have 1, 2, 3 habitable worlds that they could have lived on. An ocean world, a Gaia world, and an arid world. A Gaia world? And they're not on it? Like I said, I did do my testing, and other AI are definitely colonizing more than one planet. Why they aren't colonizing a Gaia world is pretty unusual. Well, let's check them out anyway. They're a ravenous hive and a devouring swarm. So this is going to mean that devouring swarms have a single-minded devotion to self-propagation and view all of the life forms as prey to be consumed. They're not amenable to diplomacy in any form. They're overwhelming, equivalent, and then inferior in terms of economy. So that's much like the Tyrene Republic. Now, for those interested, I also have scaling difficulty on, so the longer time goes on, the stronger the AI will actually get. So we'll see how that works out too. So it seems like hunger. It's just straight up hunger is their diplomatic stance. Let's find out about the Norillga. Let's open them up in the species panel. Oh, we've come across a few things now. How the hell has that happened? Chattel slavery? Where are these guys based? Oh, maybe it's primitives. That could be it. Because I don't know any of these. I didn't make these guys. The Tebadoran? Where are you? They're semi-mechanized. Yeah, they're primitive as well. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, I haven't actually looked at that at all. Primitive world. Oh, right. So, yeah, it's just a primitive there. And is there any others that we can see? Not that I can immediately see. Well, just out of curiosity, I really want to know where that other species is then. So where are you guys? How do I find you? I can't. It's unknown. We had the Bakari, and then what about the Kenjogan? Can't find them either. Inari? Nope. So we've found a few species. Well, anyway, here's the Norillga. So, do we just hover over and we see that way? Yeah, so let's go like this. The Norillga Swarm emerged on the surface of Candia just 300 years ago and became the dominant species of the planet. Little is known of their biological makeup or evolution to date, only that they seem to have rapidly made the jump from being an aquatic life form to an amphibian life form. They excrete a toxin that paralyzes most electrical-based nervous systems, allowing them to easily prey on most other life forms. The Norillga queens are known to lay up to 10,000 eggs in their short lifetime, allowing the swarm to rapidly infest local habitats and do the queen's bidding. Scientists have theorized that the Norillga are in fact controlled by their queens through a sort of telepathic network, removing the burden of free will from her children. So they have the ocean preference, hive-minded, extremely adaptive, natural selection, which means that species has very flexible genetic structure and a short gestation time, increasing their pop growth and habitability even further. Gluttony. Members of the species ingest more nutrition than they actually need to healthily function, and they're Eolithic. Species struggles with agricultural and engineering concepts. Their life is quite similar to primitives. So they're just a straight up swarm. They just eat. And they can live on plenty of planets. There's Candia, an ocean world moon of a gas giant. A thick ocean world as well, I might say. Is it a boundless ocean? It is a boundless ocean. That might be pure coincidence. Or does it say? Actually, it might say. Let me see. Yeah, mariners. The Great Flood didn't spare a piece of land in the old world of this civilization, and so they built floating cities on their vast planetary ocean. Marine culture made them disciplined researchers who finally went to the great ocean of the void in search of legendary land. So that's not specifically tied to them, that's just the origin that they inhabit. So they start with something called a Great Old Harbor. And then I guess this is their world, their artificial habitats within their oceans and stuff. So that's a bit of a threat. Gotta consider that big time. So we need to build our fleet soon, because they are no doubt going to be quite aggressive. So what technology do we just researched? Combat roles. So we have the combat roles. Good. Auxiliary fire control credits from technicians. Let's go with auxiliary fire control. We want stuff for more technology, more power on the fleet. Fleet power. So what is this exactly all about? Installing an auxiliary fire control system on our ships can afford to make them more advanced calculations. I really want to wait till we get our coil gun done before we build. That's a year away though. We could just do an upgrade, I guess. Alright, so here's the fleet creation screen. We don't want to auto-generate. This is going to be called the Decius class for now until we come up with a better name. Actually, you know what? We'll just call it the Velites. Decius can be deleted. Velites. Alright. So just autocomplete for now. That's all we have. Is just this stuff. So there's just nothing interesting or complicated that we can put on these things right now. We do have the basic combat roles though, so we can have them on Swarm, Picket, Line, or Artillery. Leave them on Swarm for now. They've got close range weapons. Nothing else to change, so that is just our basic first type of ship. It's an interceptor. What else do we have? We could have missiles, actually, yeah. Considering this is a Velites class, actually, let's make missiles. Don't know if I'll do missiles that also counter other missiles. So flak, I think, are better at shooting small ships, whereas point defense shoot missiles out of space. So load it up with nukes. Slap on some armor and shields, call it the Velites, and be done with it. That'll be our first ship. We're going to build 10 of these. So retrofit the old ones to the new Velites class. Tell them to upgrade 57. Once they're done upgrading, which should be pretty quick, we'll add more ships to them. Speaking of adding more ships, can we build... No, we have a trade thing. We don't have the next technology to add any more shipyards. But at the Tiberium station we do. Let's crank out some shipyards over there. And then here... Oops, wrong button. So 10. Just 10 for now. Corvettes are being created. We made progress on the Archaeological Dig site for the fossilized remains. So this one's on Tiberium. No more remains. Archaeologists have unearthed more and more fossilized remains in the valley. And the count is now up to 26 distinct sapient species, none of them native to Tiberium. Those fossils that have been sufficiently preserved to determine a cause of death all point towards physical trauma inflicted by blades, spears, or arrows. Not a single specimen appears to have been felled by the equivalent of modern projectile or energy weapons. The ruins of a small structure of some sort have been found near the entrance of the valley. It appears to originate from the same time period as the fossils. Perhaps it'll shed some light on things. So we've come across lots of fossilized different types of species that have all been killed by blunt weaponry. That's basically all we know so far. We got 5 minor artifacts from that. And then the dig site continues. Alright, let's queue our ships up for auto exploration for now. These construction ships don't really need to do much anymore. I'll just pull you back. Right, so there's no talking to these guys. Oh, look at them. They are expanding. Encountering Candius. Canadrius, sorry. Canadrius. Don't know where that is. Don't know why it keeps doing that. Science ships would be freaking out right now. Let's get some of these anomalies that lie behind us. Even if it takes a long time for her. She's only level 2. So this is atmospheric readings. Don't match projections. This is planetary body. Appears to be covered in some manner of grayish substance. Oh, it could be like nanites. It's a barren world. An interesting find. A researcher posted at Barnard Star, investigating the starship graveyard, reports of unusual finding amongst the wrecks, an almost intact warship with a number of interesting features. They're requesting a science ship to assist with investigating the wreck. Send a ship at once. Starship Graveyard Expedition? Yeah, go. What do you need? A science ship in orbit? Yeah, that's fine. How did this appear here? I don't understand. This just appeared here. Okay. Well, we'll send a scientist back. Let's go pretty far back. There's another. Oh shit! There's a Gaia world out here. God, there's so much stuff going on in this game. Oh, we have to get that. We need that Gaia world. A scientist. Can we just get someone like this who's not doing anything? What are you doing? Nothing. Nothing really. All right. So our fleet should be building up right now. Yep, we can just see them being cranked out. We need to assign our first leader. Admiral. Let's see, what do we got? Lifespan. Combat disengagement is increased. Ship upkeep is reduced. I like this. Admiral Faustus Novius. He's 49. He's a little bit older. He's actually quite old, but he's a trickster. He's able to get away a bit easier. Faustus Novius. Alright, the ships are being built. We've got 7 done so far. And that's just the beginning. Alongside the Velites class, we're going to have another type of corvette. A regular interceptor. Oh, and these should be spec'd to be artillery. Can't save it right now because they're being built. Fair enough.
System charted.
Alright, so interceptor, just autocomplete this. This is fine because there's really nothing we can do with it. We can slap a reactor booster on it to make it go faster and have higher evasion. But other than that, I don't think there's too much to do. And keep it on swarm. So that was Velites. I don't know, what do we call this one? Stadi? We need better names than this, but for now it's all good. Alright, those are the differences with the ships. Velites sort of has the additional wings on the side. Alright, cool. And we're going to be commissioning some of them as well in a moment. And then we're going to go fight the drones, and then we're going to wrap it up for today. I promised that we'd do that, so I got to speed up and get to that point. Come on, where's that last ship? There it is. Alright, so now we add a new design. We're going to add the Hestadi, 10 of them. And before we commission the build, we want to change these to have artillery. So artillery is going to keep us further back, extenuating our range, which is good for the actual nukes. So let's first upgrade. 10 ships will be upgraded very quickly, just installing those combat computers and then reinforcing the fleet. We are out of alloys now. So while our ships are still being created, which is fine, we're going to head towards the Pollux system. We should have more than we need. So let's get going. And off we go. The Roman fleet is mobilized. From humble beginnings, 10 Velites class ships. Be firing nukes from long range and using point defenses to stop any missiles coming our way. Communications established with the Mutagen Merchant Guild. Alright, we've encountered an enclave. Let's see where this would be. The Mutagen, I mean, it could be anywhere. There, probably down here, I'm assuming. So an enclave is like this. Yeah, these are the guys. Well met, friends. I represent the Mutagen Merchant Guild, and let me be the first to welcome you to the Canadrius system. Our organization consists of hundreds of independent mutagen merchant captains who brave the spaceways in search of the next good deal. At our facilities, you'll be able to trade away some of your excess resources. Please contact us if you're in search, if in need of such an arrangement. Whoa, that was loud. Jesus. So there they are. You can actually destroy these guys should we wish. Or we could occupy their system and get more benefits with them. You can just talk to them then, just to get stuff every now and then. So, open up a diplomatic channel. Interested in strategic resources or nothing for now. Goodbye. We seek your expertise. We need 50 opinion with them. So we have to do a little trading with them to get some... uncover some secrets about the galaxy, potentially. Reinforcements in transit. Yeah, so other ships are now making their way to our fleet. You can actually see it. It's like lagging behind or whatever. It'll make it there in no time anyway. Alright, Archaeological Sites. The excavation of the ancient structure found near the valley's entrance is proceeding according to plan. Many artifacts have been discovered, most of which seem to be variations of hunting weapons and trophies. A partially translated sign, which appears to denote the name of the structure, reads, Valley of Macvale, Hunting Lodge Primus. Very curious indeed. This is all taking place on Tiberium, let's not forget. What seems to be likely to be a doomed colony at this point. And speaking of being doomed, we are losing energy. Alright. I don't have time. We'll just read it in the next episode. Don't have time to read it. Just want to get the combat done. It's great that they all have really... I was going to say really loud noises. That they all have really cool noises. It's not so great that they are really loud.
System charted.
Alright, we really need to be upping our game in terms of foundries. Elysium's in need of maybe another pop. Let's pull it from Terra. So I'm going to pull over a farmer from Terra to Elysium and build our second alloy foundry and upgrade our ship shelter. We'll stop the city district. We don't need it. Let's do that. That'll give the guys jobs. And then alloys will be going at a faster rate and we'll be
technology discovered.
Increasing our military capabilities. Right, we have coal guns now, so we can upgrade all our ships when they get back. We can make strike craft. I don't know if they're any good or anything. I don't really care. I just think they're cool, so I'm probably going to get them at some point. But first off, we'll go with afterburners. Really just waiting for my ships now to make it. Oh, they're probably going to just keep being slow. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Alright, just halt for a second. Let your buddies catch up to you. Sit in the nebula waiting. 2 more ships are joining the fleet. Bringing us up to 13, 14. Now we're cranking them out. This is great to see. Alright, up to 15 now. Alright, here we go. We're 1 jump away from our first bit of combat. So let's turn on some combat music. Hyper intensity to fight the mining drones that exist in here. Now there is also a mining station, which actually I'm not aware fully of the capabilities of that machine or that station.
Anomaly detected. Anomaly detected.
So many anomalies. Alright, here we go. Just gonna save it really quickly here, as I might get some cinematics. Scientists gained a trait, the exile. Alright, we've made it. We're gonna go around and then come at them from this angle, so that we don't engage the station for a while, if possible. I know I'm neglecting things. It doesn't matter. Let's go. First bit of Roman combat, finally. I'll save it right here, because this is where I'd want to do cinematics, if possible.
Engaging hostile fleets.
So our point defenses are probably going to be largely useless, as they don't seem to be using any kind of missiles. But our nukes are doing good. Some of them are missing, as you can see.
System surveyed.
Alright. Not so bad. We've had our first bit of combat. Faustus Novius is proving himself worthy. I don't think we lost a ship there. Nope. Didn't lose one. Excellent. Good work, Faustus. Alright, here we go. We're going in for the big boy. Some sort of mining station 13S009. I did say we might look into understanding it, but here we are.
Engaging hostile station.
So we should see, yeah, our ships stopping back, the ones that fire nukes, whereas the Hastati go forward. Perfect. That's what I'd like to see. Alright, let's get our next technology while that's going on. Admin cap 5%, naval capacity from jobs. Trading company, let's do this one. Offices of a non-governmental organ dedicated to improving the conditions of interstellar trade.
We've conquered another world.
Our colony is now founded at Colonia Augusta. So this has given our fleet some excellent training. Not one ship was lost. I want everyone to remember that. Not one ship was lost. We're going to fall back to Salt and chill out. That is going to be it for the end of this episode. A lot to consider. There's no real question on how we have to deal with the Norillga Swarm, so there's no need for a vote there. But yeah, so now we're going to be building up our fleet. So now we have up to 19 out of 54 fleet strength. We have some ships that are on the way. They're being created now in droves at Tiberium because there's 2 star bases here, or shipyards, churning ships out should we need them. Our fleet is quite modest at this point. You know, obviously if we could do some research and if we find that these guys are using missiles, then we'll use the point defenses. If we find that they're not, then we don't need to. And of course, this isn't to be forgotten that we still have to deal with the Tyrrhene Republic. So we're just going to be bolstering the economy and the fleet as best as we can now. We'll call the fleet back. Hopefully that won't cost us too much then in energy credits. Double down on our alloys and build up our strength. Alright guys, I'll be reading the comments as usual. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.